Hello, good evening to you. Welcome to the business news on News360. My name is Alfredo Conce. Let's go on to our first story this evening. Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Henry Kofi Wampa, says he would retire this week, cutting short a 4-year term during which he has struggled to curb inflation and stem the decline of the national currency. Dr. Kofi Wampa, whose term officially ends on August 5, told Reuters he had informed President John Dramani Mahama of his intention to leave office by the end of this month. The decision was partly linked to presidential and parliamentary elections planned for November. He said one of his two deputies, either Millicent Na or Abdul Nashiru Isahaku, is expected to serve as interim central bank governor until President John Mahama chooses a permanent successor. So some captains of industry are lamenting that high cost of utilities is making them uncompetitive. According to the business leaders, current utility charges are more than the tariffs sanctioned for both electricity and water by the PURC.
December 14 last year, the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission (PURC) sanctioned a 59.2% tariff increment for electricity and 67.2% for water. After consistent pressure from the Trade Union Congress, government reduced electricity tariffs to between 45 and 50% for some categories of consumers. But there has been massive criticism of the PURC, ECG and the Ghana Water Company about differences in the current charges and the announced tariffs. The Association of Ghana Industry says its members are complaining water tariffs have been increased by 160% and not the 67.2% as announced by the PURC.
I would say the businesses, our situation is probably even worse than the residential users. Much as I was lauding the efforts being made to have the power stability and the fact that we welcome that development, it has also created another big problem for industry, and that is the cost of energy. Today, industries are paying so much, not just energy but also water.
According to the Ghana Chamber of Commerce and Industry, the high cost of electricity is having a negative impact on the operations of their members.
It's a very big issue, and cost of production is already high. So when we have this increment, it also affects or add up to the cost of production and makes businesses uncompetitive in the country. We are in a global economy now, global village where we compete with the rest of the world.
The business leaders are prepared to engage the PURC and major players in the power sector to address their concerns.
Complaints that we receive from our members seem to suggest that they are paying more than what was announced. And of course, as a chamber, we are looking at it and how to engage the stakeholders in resolving this particular issue. So we intend having a meeting with PURC and then with the Electricity Company of Ghana, and then see how these issues will be resolved.
Now, the Chamber for Petroleum Consumers has urged government to reduce taxes on petroleum products. According to the Executive Secretary of COPEC, Duncan Amoah, the multiplicity of taxes on the downstream petroleum sector is defeating the purpose of deregulation policy.
The Chamber for Petroleum Consumers indicated the inherent mechanisms in the deregulation regime has to be allowed to fully influence pricing. The Executive Secretary of COPEC, Duncan Amoah, stated there should be a correlation between market prices and taxes.
If the world markets are rising again, the way we are seeing the world figures, and government does not do anything about the amount of taxes on petroleum, which hovers above 42% today, a time might come when the Ghanaian consumer will be overburdened, as and when the world market dynamics also go up. If there's a certain formula to be put in place so that if fuel prices should rise to $50 a barrel, there should be a correlation effect so that the system is not overburdened.
The deregulation regime is to ensure that market forces determine prices of petroleum products. This, according to COPEC, should lead to effective and efficient pricing by the oil marketing companies. With the price of crude oil and other petroleum products inching up on the commodities market, Duncan Amoah is of the view the huge taxes on petroleum will erode the benefits of deregulation.
Overshooting deregulation altogether, because in the end, if market forces cannot determine prices, but the amount of taxes alone is determining how much you and I should pay so much, then I think deregulation would have been defeated.
He indicated the current situation will not ensure cheaper petroleum pricing as envisaged by the deregulation policy.
The Trade Ministry says its move to ban the export of raw cashew was misconstrued due to lack of wider consultation. The sector minister, Ekosbio Gabra, regretted the development but insists the withdrawal of the directive is only temporary.
95% of Ghana's total cashew nut, estimated at 60,000 metric tons, is exported in its raw form. This, according to the Ministry of Trade, rendered the local cashew processing factory with a total production capacity of 70,000 metric tons of cashew valueless. Consequently, the Trade Minister, Dr. Ekosbio Gabra, on March 14 issued a directive banning the export of cashew nuts. This was received with an uproar, compelling the ministry to lift the ban. But the sector minister says the directive was good for the economy.
Ghana currently has about 70,000 metric tons capacity for processing cashew. However, the country produces often less than 60,000 metric tons of cashew per year. So if all the factories were running at full capacity, all the cashews produced in Ghana could be processed in Ghana. So anywhere else in the world, Ghana will not export any cashew at all.
Dr. Ekosbio Gabra admitted their inability to carry out wider consultation prior to the ban, insisting the necessary amendments are being made to ensure a holistic overhaul of the initiative.
We are happy to learn from things that we do, which could be done differently, which could be done better. We are going to have the further stakeholder consultations in the next 60 to 90 days. Let all the stakeholders sit down and let's agree that if we do the following things, including establishing a cashew development board or council or committee that will help to set the floor price, look for credit facilities for them, use buffer stock to stock, etc. If on that basis, can we go and agree this year, at least that next year there will be a ban?
He wondered the benefit to be derived if factories from whose production would generate jobs are closed down due to lack of raw materials.
So that's it for business this evening.